All right, guys, thank you for joining me. A lot of bullshit issues, obviously. So it looks like, hopefully, this stays this way. Hopefully, I don't start sounding like a kung fu flick. But I don't see myself on. Okay, now I do. I'll see myself out now. Thumbnail has a right hand 911 with the left hand shooter. Mr. Fister. Thank you for the 5x5s, by the way. Ozark. Dobie. Scarlett. Maybe so. Crystal. Lisa. Catgirl. Another friend. Flown Grown. Loretta. Prepper. Thank you for the 5x5. Let's see where we left off. Finley. Jimmy. Johnny D. Thank you for 5x5. Coffee. Patrice. Brian. Thank you for 5x5. Hudson Valley. Thank you for being a moderator. Jake, Comet Moon, Gma, Keeble, Big John, thank you for the 5x5. Carrie, appreciate it. David, Grace, Joanne, Allie, Maria, Green, thank you for the 5x5, guys. All right, cool. So let's. All right, I'm just trying to make sure it's not delayed because there's always an issue with this thing. I think it's not the internet; it's my computer. I think my computer is giving me shit. So I have to take it in because I had a couple of other issues with it today and a couple of days ago, and I'm ready to slam it on the fucking ground and start stomping on it. But let me not go there just yet. So guys, today, or tonight rather, we're going to talk about pretty much everyone being ready for the amount of crimes that are starting to skyrocket. But with that, okay, all right. So with that, we are seeing, guys, some very bad things go down. I know some of you who live here in New York City were paying attention to the 13-year-old girl who was violated by the illegal immigrant that was here in New York and was arrested for the same thing, released, and then does it again. We have throughout the country similar cases where women are being violated and then ending up dead. Yeah, Big John, a lot of bullshit's headed this way, without a doubt. So, things, guys, are just going to get inherently bad all the way around. And, of course, crime is one of those things that we are starting to see from everyone. I mean, not just illegals, but just everyone. We got people stealing packages in broad daylight, which has been going on for quite some time. But I watched a video where two dudes were sitting in their car, watched the delivery guy leave, and the delivery guy didn't even get halfway back to his truck. They jumped out, ran across the lawn, grabbed the package. I think one guy was trying to grab two. One guy hit the other guy dropped one package, and then they both grabbed one and ran off into the sunset or back to their cars. So, of course, guys, with all of this going on, and this is in broad daylight, like there was nothing, these guys weren't hiding behind anything. There wasn't any cars that they could, like, dip behind. I mean, just out in the open. So, of course, guys, with all of these things going on, and we're going to talk about the various things that are going on, as far as for women, a lot of you guys are home alone. Some of you guys are single. Some of you guys' husbands work or might be overseas. Now, if you live in a military base or in a military neighborhood, you're probably not going to see that problem. I don't know. Listen, I wouldn't think of robbing or stealing or pushing robbery in the military community or a police community, for that matter. But I don't think so. So if you live in a well-protected neighborhood, this excludes you. But if you don't, and you live in a shitty neighborhood, and you're by yourself, or you're by yourself a lot because your husband's away at work or whatever it is, you need to protect yourself, and you need to talk to your husband in getting you some kind of protection. Now, the first protection that I'm going to talk about is the obvious one, the good old handgun or shotgun. Anything that goes bang, right? Not a tape recording, of gunshots, an actual device that goes bang. People, women, need to start taking more firearms training. Like, hands down. Women need to start taking more firearms. Women need to also take hand to hand. I mean, I think that's a little more realistic because, granted, if you can get the drop on the guy, you're good to go. But in a lot of cases, especially here in New York, you're not going to get the drop on the guy because these people close the distance really fucking fast. And in some cases, you're not paying attention. And then that's the other thing we're going to talk about is paying attention. But a lot of the times, women are not paying attention. And listen, people don't pay attention. But I watched more women than I could shake my fist at not paying attention on their phones, especially here in the city. But it's everywhere, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all over the world. But guys can look at their phone and still, out the corner of their eye, know the shit that's going on. But for whatever reason, I've watched two, well, it wasn't two women. It was a chick and her son, both of them on their phones, walking directly to me. And at the last minute, they both looked up and then they, went around me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what kind of shit is this? Like, why the fuck aren't you paying attention? The city is getting dangerous here in New York. It's getting out of control. And people are still glued to their phones. People are still paying attention to their phones and not the things that are going on around them. Now, David Bays, New York City does allow a concealed carry now. That was something that changed in court. And with that, New York City is trying to not combat it. They're trying to fight it, but they lost every case when they try to appeal it. So we're allowed. They're just making it harder for us in that interview process. And here's the rub. You can get a concealed carry. You might dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You might get that firearm. But if you use it once, you lost that firearm privileges. That's the problem in New York City. And listen, granted, I would rather put somebody in the dirt and lose that privilege than be put in the dirt and still have that privilege, because then it makes no sense. But you only get one good shot at it. I mean, you legitimately get one good shot at it. So make it fun if you have to use it, especially here in New York. Oliver said, my girlfriend's a kung fu instructor, but I told her you can't block bullets. Oliver, not fortunately, but most bad guys, especially here in New York City, don't use guns. Most, not all. And she would be able to defend herself in a city like New York. But in other places, I guess they do. But here, for all the women being taken off the street and raped and assaulted and all this other shit, they're not using firearms, they're using knives. So, granted, again, you have to get the drop on the person for that to happen. You can't, and if the guy closes the gap, then that weapon is rendered useless. That's why hand-to-hand works. More times than not, the person's going to use or be close quarters. Now, if they come up to your door, and we're going to talk about a bunch of things that are going on in regards to your home. And this is some crazy shit that's going on. I'm like, yo, I mean, criminals are getting brazen. They don't give a shit. They're showing up to people's homes at night while people are there, taking cars and all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about car theft and how that's going to be a really big to-do because, again, they're showing up to people's driveways to take cars. So, with that being said, guys, especially women who are home alone, and even guys, I mean, listen, a police community, I can all but guarantee people are not going to go in there and try to take anything from that neighborhood. I can all but guarantee that. If it does happen, then it's definitely some higher up gang shit. And I mean, like, MS-13 or that Venezuela gang. I forgot the name of them. One of you guys know their name. I can never. there's something. It's some Venezuela gang that's here. If it's that, and they're in the neighborhood being brazen like that, you got a whole new set of problems. If you have gangs in police and military neighborhoods, even firefighting neighborhoods, you got a whole new set of problems if they're there stealing shit, breaking into your homes. So, with that, thank you, Adriana. Trende Araguas. Sorry. Pretty sure I said that right. I hope I said that right. Right? Trende Araguas. What does that mean in English, by the way? I never looked up the translation. Ray. Yes, Ray. Wasp spray, hornet spray. Listen, any kind of spray. Right? Roach spray. That hurts. That burns. Bleach. Right in the face. That burns. You want something that's not going to splash back, though. Right? So if you're going to use anything like that, make sure the wind is on your back. Especially if you're outside. If you're inside, it doesn't matter. Though you don't want to spray that shit indoors regardless. But if you have to, you have to. But make sure the wind's on your back and not in your face, right? So if you open the door and the wind's blowing in your face, do not spray. Because both of you will be rolling around on the ground crying, right? Make sure, again, it doesn't splash back. Like if you have bleach in a bottle and you throw it at somebody, that's going to splash back. You don't want that on your face, and you don't care about your clothing at that moment. But you don't want that in your face. Again, both of you will be rolling around the ground with severe burns to your eyes. Right? And then bullets here, no chemicals in Texas. Again, this is for people who can't have or don't have firearms. A quick pinch. Bear spray's good too. I heard about those pepper ball guns. I want to get one. I heard they can sell them here. They can't sell them in New York, but you can own them in New York. Crazy. Ammonia far more effective. Again, ammonia has a splash issue, right? You throw that on their face and then it bounces off their face back onto you. Both of you are rolling around on the ground acting like assholes, crying and shit. Then the cops get there and like, what's going on? Then that ammonia smell is in the house, and we all know how that smells. Everybody's passing out. I mean, listen, you could be an asshole about it and mix ammonia and bleach and throw it in their face and watch that happen. But then you got to bail out of your home like immediately after you do that. Sprinkle gasoline, yeah, do it outside. Cayenne pepper is good. If you can get that in a spray bottle with water, or capsaicin, it's that spice ingredient. You can get that in a pure form. Put a couple of drops of that in like a water gun or a water bottle. That'll burn. Right? That'll really burn. I mean, you put a lot of it in, that'll burn. Mace, right? Pepper spray, anything like that's going to work if you're close quarters. If you're nunchucks, yeah, those are awesome. A Glock field knife. Knives work. Here's the problem with knives, guys. Knives can work. You have to know how to use it. Why am I lagging now? Damn it. All right, guys. Appreciate the heads up. I have no clue why I'm lagging. Again, it's got to be the laptop. But I'm only a couple seconds behind, so hopefully it's not that bad. I'm taking this in to get it looked at because I don't know, what the fuck's going on. Anyway, hairspray and lighter, that can work, but you can end up injured in that, so I wouldn't do that. Capsaicin. I keep saying capsaicin. It's capsaicin. Sorry. Yeah, spray it in their face, guys. Whatever you got to do. That's close quarter shit. Again, with knives are you got to be careful with those. Yeah, my laptop sucks big time. You got to be careful with any sharp or edged weapon, because if they turn around and use it against you, it's adios. We all watched what happened to what's his name in Saving Private Ryan, right? When the Jewish kid took the knife out, used it on the German, and then the German turned around and used it on him. You don't want that to happen, right? Reloader, if I'm not lagging, that means, I don't know what that means, but normally when you replay this, I don't lag. So, like right now, I'm only a second behind, or 2 seconds behind. But anyway, Revel, it's my laptop. It's not, I thought it was YouTube. My laptop is super slow now. I got to take it in and get it looked at, or take a baseball bat to it and buy a new one. I haven't decided yet, but some fucked up shit's gonna happen to this laptop if it keeps acting up. That's all I know. Anyway, So, what I say, guys, again, with edge weapons, know how to use them. Ladies, know how to use it. Don't buy it and be like, oh, man, I got... Johnny 308 said he never saw Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan. Johnny 308, you're officially a communist. That is the American classic movie. Above all war movies, Saving Private Ryan is the shit. It is one of the best war movies ever made. The best. Just about every World War II vet who saw this movie said that opening scene was spot on. And just the movie in general was good. But I don't want to get into it. See the damn movie, Johnny 308. Anyway, this computer's only 2 years old, or maybe 3 now. It's a weapon. It's a stupid fucking laptop. It's a stupid problem to have. Full Metal Jacket and Platoon is very good, but I think Saving Private Ryan beat out both Full Metal Jacket and Platoon. Hands down. Shaving Ryan's Privates. Yeah. Wasn't that was a porn. That was a porn movie. Saving Ryan's Privates or some shit like that. Whatever. But yeah. Fury's very good. I like Fury. Fury was really good. But yeah, Saving Private Ryan, man, you got to see it. Band of Brothers is Saving Private Ryan, just episodes, and that was really good. But again, we're getting off topic again. Sorry, guys. Sorry, ladies. The issue, guys, is the amount of crime that's going on right now is only going to increase. We have more gang members coming across, and they're joining the ranks. 13 Hour was good. That was a good war movie. Listen, even Lone Survivor was really good. That whole shooting, again, off topic. Black Hawk Down, excellent war movie. I'm sorry. Off topic. Someone said, bro said, you're a communist when the West was helping the Jewish Russian commies destroy Europe. You're retarded, bro. I don't know who that is. I did get funk. Whatever. I don't even know what that means. But yeah. We're talking about movies, dickhead. That's what we're talking about. And it's called joking around. You know, I hate when liberals find my channel and then they take shit literally. You just want to smack them in the head with a baseball bat. It's something satisfying about the sound of that. Anyway, Hamburger Hill was good. I did not like Apocalypse Now. I thought that movie was okay. I'd still watch it again, but Hamburger Hill was good. Bridge Too Far. I didn't see that one. 300. Not a real war movie, but a decent war movie. Someone said Patton. I didn't see Patton. All right, I'm sorry. Well, you know what? I was talking to somebody about starting a movie channel so that we can do this, talk about movies all night, and I can have various guests on talking about like movies and shit like that. I did because I think we can have fun with that channel because we talk about movies on here and we go whoop right off fucking script. I go off script with a lot of shit, but yeah, we talk about movies and forget about it. Grace Johnston said, "What is your upload speed?" It's not the internet. It's my laptop. My laptop is shot. I've been having problems when I'm doing PowerPoint and shit like that. PowerPoint, Photoshop. It's slow. Shit, what is that called? Jesus. So my download speed is pretty fast. It's about 680. My upload speed's only 34. I know it needs to be above 50 to be good. And these people promised me a good, whatever. Why are we doing this shit now? I'm sorry. Again, sidetracked. Yeah, I guess a movie channel would be it. We could definitely unwind with that. That's good shit. We could talk about a lot of good 80s movies, shitty 80s movies, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think that was a 90s movie, by the way. Pet Sematary. the new and the old one. The new one was horrible. Tears of the Sun, very good Navy SEAL movie. It's not a war movie, it's like a SEAL movie. That was an excellent movie. Tears of the Sun. I was all about that one. Vesta, Jaws, G.I. Jane. You see what happens? I mention movies and we go fucking Raccoon. I said Rapocalypse watch along with commentary. I don't know if I want to put you people through that one. That's a very, very bad movie. Very bad movie. But yeah, we could talk about a lot of fun shit. Critters. Someone said Critters. Yeah, I watched that the other day. I'm like, still not bad movie. Still not a bad movie. The Angry Movie Critic. Yeah, someone said I should keep the angry in there. So, the Angry Critic, the Angry Movie Critic, Angry Movies. But yeah, Jason. Someone said Jason Focus. All right, sorry. Getting back to the enough, enough. I'm sorry. So anyway, guys, with this, all of this stuff going down, with all of this, I'm not going to look at the chat because someone's going to say a good movie like Leprechaun in the Hood. But so with all of this going down, guys, I think criminals are going to sit in their cars and watch homes, right? And they do that now. They've been doing that for a while. It's not anything new. But what they've been doing is they've been a little more brazen. 2 girls, 1 cup. Holy shit. It's always somebody, man. 2 girls, 1 cup. Motherfucker. Anyway, so people sit home. They're sit in their cars. They sit there and they watch. Now, what I think some people are doing is they're making sure that certain family members are not home, right? So again, if there's a man in the house, or they notice that a man's not there, or they always notice that it's 2 women and a bunch of kids, or 1 woman and a bunch of kids, they know that the house is more obtainable, not easily obtainable, because she could have a firearm and it's good night for everyone involved. But they're watching homes. Now, I don't know if they're doing this yet. I would not be surprised if they're patching in to your what is that called? That doorbell system that I cannot stand. A Ring. They're patching into that. People, if you're on here and you have Ring in your home, get rid of the indoor Ring camera shit. Get rid of that now. Because if they're patching in, they could see exactly where everybody is, who's home, when you're not home, when you are home, when you're sleeping, and then decide to rob your home. Now, criminals have been getting more brazen. They've been acting like repairmen. They've been acting like, a couple of times here in New York, it didn't work out too well. But the repairman thing, the delivery person, that's been a thing. And that's growing. Someone said Ring sucks. Police Academy. But yeah, it's definitely, guys, an issue that's growing. And people disguising themselves to be trusted city workers or, again, delivery people, that's an issue. Now, when I lived downtown, delivery guys would be knocking on my door all hours of the night. I would say about up to midnight. And anybody who knocked on the door at midnight, I automatically grabbed a baseball bat and told everybody, listen, stand back. What advice do you give your daughter? There's a lot of advices I give her, but there's one situation I have to talk to her about, Duckman. But and we're going to talk about this situation a little later tonight. So someone remind me about that in regards to what to tell your kids if something bad happens to them. Because it sucks, man, that this is the reality that we're getting to. But anyway, before I get to that. So, guys, ladies, if you're home alone, if you are single, always look for a car that is out of place on your block. You'll know what that car looks like. Because if you live in a quiet neighborhood and you see a car that is out of place sitting somewhere or parked somewhere that you've never seen a car parked before, and you see somebody in it, or the windows are tinted really dark, better believe that person, and then the car doesn't have to be facing your direction. The car could be facing opposite, but they could be looking at you through the rear window. So don't think because it's parked and it's facing away from you that they're not turned around watching your home. There is also that. They have been driving up and down neighborhoods acting like delivery employees because, yes, Amazon does allow people to drive their own cars. They have an Amazon vest on. They're driving up and down the block. They're driving up and down the block to scope out homes and surveillance and or do work, scout work, to see what homes they can hit and what homes they can't. Now, during these summer months, a lot of people leave their homes. They go away. When they do that, this is where now they know whose home they can rob and whose homes they can't. But again, they're getting brazen to the point that they don't give a shit. You could be home, you could not be home. They don't care. But they have been acting like fast food delivery drivers, coming up to your home, pretending that they have a delivery for you. Now, a lot of the times, they also pretend that they don't know where they are. They'll sit there and they'll show up and they'll be like, "Can you help me find 65 Munchkin Lane?" You know, and then you're like, "This is not even Munchkin Lane, and 65 is to your left or right." And yeah, but could you show? I can't read this. I don't know if it says 65 or not. Then they're like, "Yo, hold it up to the peephole." No, I'm not going to do that. Could you? Then automatically, you know, once they give you any resistance in following simple directions, they're there to jack you out of your home. So this is an article now. We're going to read an article. Fake food delivery driver behind numerous home burglaries in California. This is starting to happen here on the East Coast as well, but it's been happening in California for a little while now. Out in Colorado, they had an incident. And in California, they're having a lot of brazen incidents. They had an incident, before I read this article, where they were robbing the person's car, stealing the car. But it was like 6 of them to steal this one dude's car. And one of the kids had a gun, and he pulled it out. He's like, "You better not come outside." Yo, once the kid pulled out that gun, I would have told the family, go to the backyard, stay to the ground. We're going to get into it. Because now this kid pulled it out. He's sitting there saying, "Yo, you better not come outside. It's not worth dying for a car." I'd have been like, "You're right," and it would have been on. Now, why I would have taken it to that level, one reason and one reason only. You're not going to put fear in criminals' hearts standing behind the door and not doing anything. They know most people will not engage. But if you engage just a little bit, they run. And a lot of people are not engaging, and I know a lot of gun experts are saying, if you don't have to get into it, don't. Fuck that. Because every time now, your home's a target after they steal the first car. You buy a new car. Guess what they're doing? They're going to come back and know you're not going to engage. So, yeah, as irresponsible as that might sound, I'm not telling you guys to engage. Obviously, do what you want. But, yeah, you got to set principles, man. You got to fucking set an example. And if that means getting into it, that means getting into it. Because people are going to stay home and then do what? Not do anything? And so they steal your car? All right, you didn't engage. You stayed home, you stayed safe. Because they didn't come into your house. You buy a new car. 2 months later, they do the same shit again. When are you going to stop it? My thing with criminals is you got to start beating the balls off of these dudes. Because they're just not learning. You see what they're doing in the stores. They're running in the stores and they're robbing stores and they're taking everything in the stores because no one's teaching them the hard lesson. They have to learn a hard lesson. Hell, you can even, if they're trying to steal the car out of your driveway, you don't have to get into a shootout, but you can absolutely throw a pepper bomb at them, watch them scramble, go to the window, crack it, shoot one of those little pepper bombs at them, boop, and then watch them start screaming and yelling. They might start throwing rounds at your house. They might not. Nonetheless, guys, this is always going to be an issue if we don't do something about it. Anyway, fake food delivery drivers behind numerous home burglaries in California, police state. A man was arrested after being accused of posing as a food delivery driver to commit numerous home burglaries. 37-year-old Monrava man I don't know if I'm saying that right, was arrested Tuesday, June 18, on burglary counts related to a string of Irvine residential burglaries, and the Irvine Police Department stated on Facebook. At the time of the burglaries, police said the man typically carried a bag, giving him the appearance of a food delivery driver. It gives him the appearance he's delivering something, so it allows him to wander around looking for homes with doors and windows unlocked. Kyle something, a spokesperson for the Irvine Police, told City News Service the man stole more than $14,000 in jewelry during a November burglary at an apartment complex, police said on May 7th Facebook post requesting information on the suspect. Whatever. In April, the man was last seen on video surveillance at the same complex. After he couldn't get into the apartment through the front door, he entered through the patio door. So far, the man has been tied to at least 4 home burglaries, state Kyle told the City News. Kyle is a spokesman for the Irvine Police Department. Monvera man, yeah, that's what it said. Monrava man, or Marvarin man. I don't know if that's like from a country, whatever. I don't know. The suspects were, skip something. Police said, Police said that they're working with other agencies to determine if the man has committed additional burglaries in other areas. The suspects were holding a package and waited for the residents to open the door. This is another story. When the family opened the door, the suspects forced their way in, pushing robbery, and robbed the home while they were there. Now, this is in Colorado. This is the Colorado case. This is a group pretending to be delivery workers forced their way into Aurora family's home. One adult and 2 children were home at the time, but no one was hurt. Aurora investigators believe the family was targeted due to the business that was being run out of the home. The thief stole personal items and cash from the business, according to Aurora police. The department is urging the community to be cautious of strangers at their door. Delivery drivers traditionally wear brand uniforms, and you typically do not need to be home in order to receive a package. That's why they leave them at the doors now. They leave them at the doors because they're fucking lazy. That's a different story. You may want to consider alternate delivery options, such as picking up your package or your mail from a P.O. box, or choosing a hold for pickup option. That is better. Heath, thank you for the donation. He says, ladies, get training and a good-sized cal. Yes, do not go with anything less than a 40 caliber. Right? Some people argue 9mm, but yeah, 40 caliber if you want to start blowing shit off their body parts, right? Just fucking knocking things out. I am not a gun expert, but you can definitely talk to Angryprepper. He's definitely the gun guy. Clearly, I'm not a gun expert. I live in New York City. I look at a firearm, I'm like, I'll just pick it up and start going bang, bang, right? But there is a science to why you want to go with larger calibers and things of that nature, right? You run into a big guy, you don't want to use a 22. I've seen people get shot up with a 22 and survive. So there is that. And the guys were built like pickup sticks and they still survive. If you want to go with a shotgun, some say to go with bird rounds, buckshots, right? You want to go with that, and then you might want to put a slug if you are up close and personal. Buckshots are a little safer because they don't go through. And you would want to use buckshots if you live in a building that has neighbors above and below you, right? These are concrete floors and ceilings. I don't have to worry about that. I can go with slugs. Slugs are not going to go through these cinder block walls, right? And a dog is good. A trained dog is really good. You can go with that too. But that's another mouth to feed and a pain in the ass when they hear lightning and shit like that. But you can go to you can go with dogs as well. This is not to scare you, it's a fact, right? Double odd buckshots, 308 said. But yeah, whatever you guys suggest, just drop it in the comment section below. Again, I know shit about this stuff. All I know is point and shoot. And make sure they stop moving. The mentally ill, they do have mega strength. There are some people out there, and then there are drug users that I've seen those videos. I've seen cops empty clips on these dudes, and they're still coming after you. So you got to keep that in mind. You know, I mean, listen, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. There are dudes just showing up at people's doors and banging on it randomly. There's the delivery driver aspect now, pushing robbery. There was another one where a chick went to she was pretending to be a food delivery driver, and she has a Chick-fil-A in her hand, and she's like, you know, she's at the door. I don't know what she says, but while she's talking to them at the door, 4 guys jumped over the gate to go and invade the home, but I think somebody knew something was off, and they gave a lookout behind them, and I don't know what they said or what they did, but the 4 guys that jumped over the wall jumped back over the wall after running across their backyard. So be aware of decoys. That's another thing. While you're sitting there talking to them, you got dudes coming around from the rear. So keep that, again, in the back of your head. All right, so Aurora Police Department is investigating after several people pretending to be a delivery worker forced their way into a family home. The incident happened Wednesday, 8:45 p.m. in the 4100 block of South Richfield Street. Aurora Police said the suspects were dressed in construction vests and claimed that they were there to drop off a package. Now, there was another incident. Heath, thank you for the donation again. There was another incident where the people, this is a video I saw, the people saw these guys trying to get in. And they were matter of fact, this might have been the same incident. This might have been the same one. This might have been a video of it. But 8:45, no. This was in the daytime, right? So this was another incident where these guys were acting like construction workers. They went up to the door asking to get in and check a gas leak or something like that. That's what it was. And so they didn't let them in. The people didn't let them in, and they walked away. When they walked away, the people came out of the house, and they walked across the lawn to look to see where these guys were, what direction they were headed in. As soon as the guy peeked around the corner, you could see him in the video. He goes, oh shit, and he turns around and makes a beeline back to the door, and everybody piles in back into the house. They lock the door, and the thugs, I hate calling them that, came running around the corner, around a brush or something, came running around a brush and tried to make their way in. I think they were calling 911 when that all went down. Now, here's the rub, guys. If someone is banging on your door and you do not recognize who they are and they do not leave, call 911 immediately. You give them the benefit of the doubt that they could be lost. But if you tell them, hey, listen, I don't know where that address is, and they don't go, I'm sorry, and leave immediately, call 911. Get the ball rolling. So in case they push their way in case they kick your door in, you already have police on the way. If you don't recognize them, and they don't leave, make sure you have your firearm on you. And you let them know, hey, I'm about to put 2 through the door if you don't leave. A delivery driver will be like, oh, and leave. They will not sit there and go, well, but can you, that's not right. And if they start arguing with you, there's something else behind it. I'm a delivery dude, and I hear click, click. I'm like, all right, and then I leave. I'm not going to argue with you. All right, you don't know if you tell me you don't know what the address is, I'm going to walk away. But as soon as someone starts giving you shit, yo, they're about to break into your home. Now, this is from a couple years ago. Man poses as UPS delivery man in New York for home invasion robbery. Police in New York City are looking for a man who posed as a UPS delivery man and his accomplices in a home invasion robbery in which 4 people, including 2 young children, were zip tied. It happened on Monday inside of an apartment in the Bronx. Of course, all shitty things happen in the Bronx. And authorities were hoping surveillance videos of the assailants will lead to their arrest. The police say 60-year-old female victim answered the door for who appeared to be delivery person holding the box. Now, in the video, the guy's holding the box and he's playing to be UPS. The 2 or 3 other guys are by the staircase, sort of off camera. She can't see them, but the camera can see one of the guys. And as she opens the door and he starts talking to her just a little bit, they push in. Now, she's 60 years old. There's not much more she can do. Even if she had a firearm, she would have already been off. She would have already been lost. She already lost that battle once she cracked the door open. You crack the door open, you have a firearm in your hand, you undoubtedly at 60 years old is going to fall over and break your hip. So if she was smart, she wouldn't have opened up the door. She would have told the guy, well, I'm not getting a package, but if the package is mine, can you put it by the door? That's it. Don't open up the door. They'll put it by the door. If they don't put it by the door and say you have to sign for this, then you ask, then obviously you go, well, I'm not receiving a package. Leave a post on the door. I'll go and pick it up from the UPS headquarters. If you do not know what this is. Villain, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Right, so when it comes to UPS or FedEx, if you don't recall getting a package, tell them, leave the note on my door and I'll pick it up at headquarters. Right then and there, the UPS driver who doesn't want to deal with this bullshit will automatically leave. He'll be like, no, fuck you then, and he'll leave. He'll leave a slip on your door so that you can go pick it up by base. Right? So those are things to remember when people show up at your home suddenly and knock on your door. I want somebody to knock on my door. It's going to be a fun fucking time if someone knocks on my door and tries this bullshit. But they try it with women. They try it with single women. They try it with older people. Right? So if you're old and a woman, you're a target. If you're a chick and single, you're a target. If you're a chick with kids, you're a target. If they know your husband's always on the road or always working at night, you're a target. Guys, if you were built like pickup sticks, like a little frail hipster, you're a target. Right? If they know that you're driving around in a decked out Escalade, but you're built like Pee Wee Herman at 5 feet, you're a target. They are targeting people with expensive cars as well now, guys. They are looking at cars, waiting till they park in the driveway. They're getting the VIN number, and they're doing cloning the fobs, right? The fobs of your car. So you know what fobs are, right? A lot of cars now don't use keys anymore. They use a fob, which I wish they would go back to the key. Anyway, and they might start doing that if more and more cars start getting jacked. So what they're doing is they're reading the VIN, they're finding the signal or recording your signal when you unlock your car or lock your car, and then they go to they go have a machine in their car. They create a signal replicator, and they replicate the signal to start your car and drive your car away, and open your car, and drive your car away with a fake fob or fake signal. And then they're driving into the sunset with your shit. So there is that. That's a lot of that starting to go on, and it's starting to pick up. The fob thing was a bad idea. Once I saw cars switching over to that, I was like, these idiots do not know what they just did. Technology is very, very easy to hack. Easy. Criminals sit there and they go, we're going to hack this shit. And that's all they do, is they figure out a way how to screw you over. And once they went over to the electronic fob, it's game over. So with that, guys, just keep in mind that even your clicker for your garage doors, they're recording that, so that when you leave, they can pull up into your driveway, right into your garage, close the door behind them, and start ransacking your home, and do it while they're being covered. So again, these are things to think about. Fobs, like I said, I would say in another year or so, they're going to go back to keys for a lot of cars. They're going to have to. Because they're making it easy for criminals to do this. All right, so let's see, the female, whatever. So the individual at the door who stated he was a UPS worker was wearing a brown winter hat with UPS on the front. When the victim opened the door, the individual pushed her inside the apartment and revealed that he had a silver revolver inside the box. Ha! So he was like Jack in the Box with a fucking firearm. And then after he gained entry, he whistled, I'm mad in that shit in, and the second individual joined him. At gunpoint, they demanded the woman and her 63-year-old husband and their grandchildren, 8 and 6, and zip-tied them and blindfolded them. And blinded themselves. Villain, thank you for the donation again, man. I appreciate it. They were carrying a box, but the box is empty, Valero said in Spanish. And the box, and below the box, he had the gun, and he pushed his way inside. The two men proceeded to remove property, including two iPhone, iPad, and personal documents. The kids were with us, screaming, "Poppy!" It says this here. I'm not fucking lying. And they were scared, and now they're traumatized today. The men gained access to a safe, and the children's piggy bank with $230. Motherfuckers. They removed more than $7,000 in cash in the house. They knew that the cash was there. That shit was an inside job. There is no way, guys, you pick two old people that had $7,500 in their safe, and the kids' piggy bank with $230. Then they fled the apartment with stolen properties and cash. 4 victims were not injured. Thank God nothing happened. But as a father, I'd be pissed. I'd be looking for these dudes. But anyway, this is going to get more and more brazen now because there are more migrants out there now. There are more dudes with no jobs. People need money. They are watching everybody. I know for a fact people know in this building that what I do, especially to my photography shit. So I already know that I'm a target. I'm just waiting for the day for one of them to come pop out and be like, give us your gear. I'm like, we are going for a fucking ride. All 3 of us, if there's 2 of them, because you're going to need 2 guys to rob me. If there's 2 of them, we are all 3 taking a fucking trip to the hospital. Because everybody's getting beat up. We're getting thrown down the stairs together. There's going to be some broken ribs. There's going to be a lot of fucked up shit going on if you try to rob me for my shit. I'm going to smash my camera into a million pieces on the ground before I let you take it. Because I will sacrifice my $7,000 camera and smash it on the ground. Just so that they can't take it. My mother got robbed once, years ago, back in the 70s. They tried to rob her for her radio. She smashed the radio on the ground. Her and the guy were fighting, tugging over it, and she smashed it on the ground. And then the guy who's robbing her looked at it and looks at her and starts running. With that, my mother takes off after him. She doesn't catch him because, my mother. But still, I heard that story. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. All right, so, it's going to be a fun time if this shit goes down. And again, guys, you have to know your worth. If you know that you are worth money, you have money, you're always walking around with cash, and you live in the city, you are a target. Right? And so don't sit there and think because you have muscles and you're a big dude, that don't mean anything. A gun's going to change a lot of that. Fortunately for me, a lot of guys don't have firearms here, so they're probably going to use a knife. And even if they have a firearm, we're going to fight. It's on. Now, don't get me wrong. If I get down to the end of the hallway and they pull out the firearm and they're at the other end, I'm going to have to give them my shit. Because obviously, that's too far of a distance for me to close. It's, 25 feet to close that gap? I can't close 25 feet. I'm 46. I ain't that fucking fast. Right? So, again, there's specific situations that's gonna tell me, I can't do that. I can't close that gap. If they pull out and they're further away, they pull out a firearm like, leave your shit on the floor and get in the apartment. I'm gonna leave that shit on the floor and get in the apartment. Right? And so, I mean, there's certain situations where I won't have the upper hand. See, Jesus, mom had a stereo. It's 7 yards, but 25 feet. It's I'm not that fast, and it's a hallway. It's not like I could dip, side to side. I can't, and not with these fucking hips and knees. Forget about it. I try once, click, and I'm on the ground, broken knees and hips. So, listen, you know when you can close the gap. 25 feet at 46 years old in a hallway, it's not going to work. It just won't. But again, and stop, drop, and roll. I can do that too. Imagine I stop, drop, and start rolling to them. They're like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Why is he? It could scare them. It could confuse and scare them. They're like, why is he rolling towards us? This is weird. And then they just run away. It could work. Or, I read this in Maxim magazine once. Was it Maxim or Stuff? It was one of the two. Stuff. It was Stuff magazine. The one with the hot chicks in it. They were like, scream like a bitch at a high-pitched voice as a grown man will confuse your attacker. You scream like that, and they're like, at first it'll startle them enough for you to jump on them, but they'll confuse them and be like, why is he screaming like that? Is he gay? And as soon as they start thinking all that shit, then you can get the drop on them. But 21 feet is the rule, right? 25 feet is, I'm not going to be able to close that. And not, again, not with a gun out, you know? So parking on the driveway increases car insurance in my neighborhood. Most of so much junk and stuff in the garage that they park in the driveway, and that is dumb. You can't access the house. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, don't break a hip. You know, I'm telling you, like, you start, the whole screaming shit, that'll confuse people, man. They're like, right? And especially if you do it high enough, they'll be like, ugh. They'll be so grotesque that a man screaming like that, they'll leave. Like, no way. Angry, the refrigerator. Yeah, the refrigerator. Is he dead? Did he die? Is he still alive? Refrigerator Perry? You could start undressing with a smile. The problem with undressing and with a smile shit, it confuses them. But I don't want to get shot in the dick either, man. Like, I really don't. That's like the one place I don't want. I'll get shot anywhere else. Shoot me in the head, kill me instantly. Don't shoot me in the dick, man. I don't want to be shot in the dick. That's got to hurt. Not only does that hurt, that's just like, it's your dick, man. You know, like, no one wants to get shot in the pee-pee. Really. I don't want to get shot there. You know, I don't want to get undressed and be like, try to play off like I'm crazy and he shoots me in the dick. No, thank you. Shoot my ear off, shoot my nose off. Don't shoot me in the dick. That is a big fucking no-no, man. Oh, your face. Yeah, somebody like, Yeah, so fuck that. So anyway, what somebody was talking about, what I would tell my daughter. So there was an incident earlier, I think it was this week, and somebody sent me the article. I saw the article in the Post. I didn't get a chance to read it, but Jocelyn Norgray, 12, fought back with her dying breath, leaving bite marks and scratch marks on the illegal immigrants that raped and killed her, right? So it was these two guys that raped and killed this 12-year-old, and unfortunately, if you end up in a situation like that, I would tell my daughter, kicking and screaming. Everything you got, give it to them. You bite, you scratch, you make sure you get that skin under your nails, you get the bite mark on them, you do whatever you have to do to make it so that they're identified when they get caught. That's a worst case scenario. Other than that, before you get there, keep your head on the swivel. Don't end up in a dark place by yourself. If you have to call me to come and pick you up, so be it. If you find that you are, we're in a couple to play. If you find that you are in a dark place by yourself, do an about face and get somewhere where there's people. Don't go down that street by yourself. If you have to take an Uber 3-4 blocks, I'll pay for it. Right? I mean, whatever it is, don't end up in an area by yourself. Right, everything. Soft tissue injury. Poke eyeballs out, bite the tongue. If the guy tries to make you suck it, bite it off. I mean, like right the fuck off, everything. Anything and everything if you end up in a situation like these kids are ending up. These kids, guys, and these are all illegal immigrants. That's the issue. Granted, listen, people, girls, kids were getting, violated well before migrants are here, but we are seeing an increase, and it happens to now majority of them be migrants. Not saying all of them, the majority. But yeah, man, if you got to start whatever, go to fucking war. Do whatever you got to do. Don't let them get away with it. Don't give up and be like, all right, have my vagina. No. Fight like everything depended on it. Everything. Knee to the groin. If you got to jam your finger in their eye, do so. The one place that makes it easy for you to jam the finger in their eye is in this section right here, and push. Your finger will get right behind that eyeball really quickly. That guy will start screaming at the pain, the discomfort of his eyeball moving out of the way. He's going to stop that attack immediately. And if you can pull the eyeball out of the socket, whoo, you won. You won hands down. Right? So there's a lot of things you can do. A lot. And again, like that 12-year-old girl, fight like fucking hell. Fight like everything depended on it. Fight like if you are in that situation and you know you're going to die, at the very least, you know that these guys will get identified and sentenced to jail, at the very least. Now, I don't know about getting sentenced to jail because I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. There's not enough bulletproof vests and cops to stop me from what happens next if that was to happen to my daughter. There's not enough. I will gladly go to jail knowing that these two dudes are gone. And I wouldn't even make it quick and easy either. And I wouldn't have to recruit too many guys. I wouldn't have to recruit too many guys. I make a phone call and they're like, yo, this is what we're doing. I know 2 guys that would sign up and immediately fucking go to war. So, again, the Rape Acts. Google it. I don't know if I want to. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. Old Joe Biden. Yeah, the dude in the airport. It'd be something similar to that. It'd be way worse. Yo, like Kaiser Soze kind of shit. I'd be all fucked up and shit, like drooling and shit, like, what was that super retard that Damon Wayans played? I'd be all like, and walking towards him, and like, a wig on, and I'd be like, and then it'd be on. It would be fucking on. Yo, because that's the best one. If you act like a tard, everybody like, oh, look at that guy. They leave you alone when you act like a tard, right? And then you get in there and you're like, fucking, and then you start doing whatever you have to do. Because they're not watching the retard's hand because they're all up here. You're like, and then, they were like, oh, and they give you $1 and shit because they feel bad. And then you spring the attack, like, But anyway, that being said, guys, we're going to go off the air now. Go over to the Angry Truth channel. I'm going to talk about, what am I going to talk about? Oh, following the science. Because they're starting that bullshit again. Anyway, handyman. Yes, handyman. That's what I'd be. I have the helmet on and everything with the cape and shit. I'd be like, yo, it throws people off when you do that, man. Trust me. People they don't see that coming, man. You don't see that coming. Anyway, we're going to talk about that because that's starting to resurface again. And they're pushing it because of, you have to wait. And our Heat, thank you for the donations, man. You don't have to, but I do appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the love and the donations. Other than that, yeah, guys, I'll see some of you guys in the Angry Truth. I am doing a midweek report tomorrow morning, and I'll see the rest of you guys next Thursday or this Thursday coming up. Or no, wait, yes, Thursday. I'll see you guys Thursday. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you for dealing with my bullshit, and I'll see you guys later.